Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in life when legends must collide. That time has arrived. Firstly, please welcome into the arena. He is the current champion of the world from the Philippines, Pinaka Mangalin, the magician, Efren Reyes. And now, please welcome into the arena a legend from the world of snooker. He is 6 times champion of the world, Rumford Slim, Steve Davis.
Well, if you've got a pulse, it's hard not to look forward to this one. 2 legends, Davis from the world of snooker, the 6x12 foot table, and Efren, the magician Reyes, the pool playing legend. Anything on the 4.5 by 9 foot table or the 4 by 8 foot table, this man has done it all.
Pleasure to be sitting here next to you, Jim, with your immense knowledge of snooker and this game, to see what is going to be an absolute treat. Davis wins the leg, and his break has been getting better in the 4.5 to 5 years he's been playing this game.
Steve Davis to break.
It certainly has, but what an atmosphere out here, Sid. Electric, as Davis queues up for the opening break.
Dangerous Davis. I called him in his last match against the Belgian when he got out of jail. He might have to do a little bit of getting through bars against the world champion, Efren Reyes. Bata, the younger. There was another Efren Reyes, the man who went to live with his uncle when he was 8 in Manila at the Lucky 13 Club. Started playing pool. I watched all sorts of people, and there's Davis. You know, what can we say about Davis after what he did to the Belgian? He is eager and happy for this free.
Well, Efren Reyes, quick to get his eye in. Great opening pot. Looking at the long 2. Well, if he can just get through to it. It looks like he can, Sid. Very close. That cue ball might have just feathered far enough behind the 9 not to leave this on.
Dead right, Jim. Can he change the track by putting side on, maybe? No?
Just trying to feather it past the pink 4. Not to leave it on for Steve.
And you saw in that shot, Jim, just how fast this cloth is compared to snooker cloth. No nap. It's a race to 9. Efren Reyes, the holder of this title. Won it a year ago in this very hall.
And that was a pool safety that Steve just played. He is taking it in. And a great shot from Davis there. But up against a man who kicks the ball better than anyone alive.
Kick means cushion first.
Look at that. Gets out of those for a living, Sid, doesn't he?
Reyes this year was a rack boy in the pool hall, and by the time he's 14, no Americans, GIs would play him for as much as $1. He copied the shots, he says, of crazy guys and people who tried wild shots. So his immense natural talent augmented by watching the game and playing from a child.
He's looking right now at the possibility of just getting that cue ball over, hopefully in behind one of those. He doesn't want to go in off. He can only get through to the right edge of the blue as he looks.
Live in Cardiff World Championship, a great match in prospect here. Steve Davis, Efren Reyes.
Well, he's got the 2 safe though, Sid.
Are you absolutely sure? With this bloke? With this bloke?
Yeah, I really can't see Efren attacking from here, mind you. You don't call him the magician for nothing. That's a magic wand in his hand.
Left a shot.
Yeah, but he's played it in such a way, and Davis tapping the table in appreciation. He knows, even in leaving the 2 here, and when I say if, that's a big if, the way Steve's going to be bridging over these 2 balls, he can't get onto the red 3. Hampered bridging right over the 7 and the 8.
Here he goes. It's Jim said. Efren was thinking way ahead of, even if Davis did get this pot, the position on the red's a problem. So Davis also looking for safety and getting it. Lapping it up.
I think what's nice about these 2 players is they're going to appreciate each other. He's grabbed his break cue here. I wonder if he's going to play something a little special, possibly jump or masse. Looks like a masse shot here, Sid.
Yep. Watch. Oh, he missed. The blue. Got the outward part of the curve, but forgot the last part of it.
Strange that he changed cues to play a masse. You'd think you'd have a better tip on your playing cue. Very strange. And just not quite enough curl on that cue ball to contact the 2.
Well, there you go. Bad mistake by the world champ. Won the title 17-8 here against Ho Ping Trang, Chinese Taipei. He won it 17-8. Davis, great chance here then.
The obvious problems, and that's why Steve's going for the 2-9 combination, is the bottom left corner. You see the 7 and the 8. Not easy to get onto the 7. So Steve's going to attack the 2-9 here. Now I can tell you something. See how close he's playing that cue ball up to the 9? I think he saw Mika Immonen play this shot yesterday, where we were commentating on the match, and he saw Mika move that cue ball close. Now watch the 9. Basically, the 2's his cue ball here.
And down it goes! Davis rolling against Reyes. Knowledge picked up by study. Study and more study. But the execution still had to be done. He needs 1 tip.
And how important was it for Steve to get out of the gate in this one? And there's his results. That last match, crucial. He had to win that to go through. And what a nail-biter it was. 7-6 over Mario Lanois from Belgium. Here we go. As Jim said, he watched Mika play this.
Used the blue as his cue ball. In went the 9.
But played the white nice and tight up to the 2.
Second rack. Steve
Basically
Davis, leading
turning
by
the
1
2
rack
ball
to
into
0.
his cue ball. Breaking off rack number 2.
And Jim breaking into poetry. 2 ball, cue ball. See how his break is. If this gets going, Efren has got trouble. Oh, he's scratching.
Foul.
Cue ball running safe. Got a flick off the blue. The ball in hand of the magician.
Steve left to wonder probably what that in-off will cost. Will it just be this rack? If this rack, or will Reyes string a few together? Just surveying the situation here. He knows he wants to get the left-hand side of the table for the red 3 already. He's figured that out. So it's all about the proper angle on the 2 here, Sid, in potting this 1.
That Filipino-style cue action. It looks rocky. See, this the cue addresses different parts of the ball, but the final stroke comes through exactly where he wants to hit it. Looks pretty good on the red, Jim.
A little closer to the side cushion for comfort. But he may just have to draw into the 4, or the brown 7 here. Just to the left of the 3 for the 5. He had no choice there. And now he's in trouble. Bridging right over the 6. How does he get from the 5 to the 6? This looks dead straight, or very close to it. A lot of self-proclaimed pool experts in the audience. That's Jay Helfert there, Jay. He's poking a little fun. He's right with Karen Core. What about that shot from Efren Reyes? Hampered over the 6. A deep screw. Watch this for cueing.
The magician waves the wand. You see the result.
Well, he won't strike a better ball than that. He's still got a little trouble here, little cause for concern. That 7 isn't in the open. The brown 7 next. Should he get this? And look out. Look out.
Makes mess and
going after the 9, Sid.
Feather on the brown. I've just missed a 9. Oh, but he's rolled lucky.
Yeah, Sid. If you think that was lucky, you know what his answer is? The more he practices, the luckier he gets. That was a great shot. Now, how do you fancy this shot for Steve Davis?
Well, he's seeing if there's a shot involved in the 9.
I think he's looking at possibly just trying to get the butt of the cue up and kick it from the back end here. Got to slightly swerve that cue ball, you can see. And Steve will be looking for a full contact on that brown 7 here. Very tough, this shot. Not only to hit it, but to get it safe. Would you believe it? He got too much. He can't believe that.
Incredible. How on earth did he get around the back of that without contact?
Can you believe he got too much on that cue ball?
The great Mike Massey himself, Tennessee Tarzan, trick shot star, would have been proud of that shot.
And this 9 to level the score lines against Steve Davis here. 1-1 it is. Efren Reyes will be breaking in rack number 2 of a scheduled 17 here in Cardiff.
It was 1972, and a Canadian television crew had discovered Minnesota Fats, the self-styled greatest pool hustler of them all, living not in Minnesota, but in Illinois, in a little dot on the map called Dowell.
And when I was 2 years old, my dad and my uncles used to take me to the pool hall and to the saloon. And in the saloon, they used to have a free lunch counter and a pool table. And they'd put me on the free lunch counter, and I would eat all the free lunch, and then they'd put me on the pool table.
He may, as he said, have been lining up cue balls before he was out of diapers, but he didn't start calling himself Minnesota Fats until after he saw Jackie Gleason play that character in the movie The Hustler. His real name sounded even more improbable. It was Rudolph Wonderone Jr.
So I don't care nothing about no French Riviera or yachts like Onassis and all them imbeciles. You understand? It's a joke. To me, I do just enough to live real good. I like to live in real fine hotels. I like to go to Las Vegas when I feel like gambling and play.
You're a big spender?
Yeah, very big spender. I'm known as one of the biggest spenders, you know, in the country. I'm not no Onassis or nothing.
Sky Sports, the place to be. You've got the best seat in the house for this year's World 9-Ball Championships, the Cardiff International Arena here. All the action taking place and just getting set to break off here. Adam Lewis, the young qualifier, against the American #1, the Scorpion, Johnny Archer. Tall order there, Sid, for Lewis.
Yes, and he's just done final exams at university, so his practice has had to take a little bit of second place to the exams. His third year. Here's Archer, 4 times world champion, breaking off on the mezzanine level. So, scratch it, more like that.
Not the sort of signs Archer wants to see early, but back again on the main deck here.
Third rack.
Our focus
Efren
front
Reyes
and
to break,
center
1 rack each.
on Efren Reyes and Steve Davis. Reyes breaking off here, 1 rack apiece in the race to 9.
Played his early games in the US. Cesar Morales, an assumed name, took a lot of money from a lot of people. Efren Reyes had a famous match in 1995 against Strickland at the Sands Region Casino.
Another look at the break off and the positioning of the balls. Ominous signs early for Davis in the 3rd rack here. And is that the view he's going to have for a prolonged period of time? Well, we'll have to wait and see.
Below 2. Gimme. He's looking at the exact spot he wanted to land. Oh my goodness! Oh, wind! It blew the wind as it passed that exact track he wanted. Past the red to take the red. Opposite pocket. The shot of a maestro.
Couldn't go wrong there, Sid. Even if he cannons the 6, he leaves it to the other corner. He just plays where the percentages are in his favor.
World champion in play. 6 times world snooker champion Steve Davis, who could do a lot of sitting down, could SD. checks into the cush, and no problem at all. Position on the 9.
Never rushed, never hurried. Efren Reyes is a picture of consistency.
Plays the shot, will run inside, and this for 2-1. Winner breaks, remember.
A deliberate clearance there from the magician, now in front 2-1. Bringing the balls out. He'll be breaking off in rack number 4. As we said, you don't know how long this man can keep Davis in his chair.
Efren Reyes beat Dutz 7-2. 7-2 against England's Kevin Smith. 7-3 against Luke Kondo Jr. from Oz. Lost 7-6 to Dominguez. Won 7-3 against Jose Luis Perez.
Going through the formalities of the round robin, basically the early rounds,
Efren Reyes to break,
just getting
leading by
a feel for the
2-1.
event. Now the sudden death elimination knockout stages. There's no tomorrow if you lose this match.
Surprise news from the mezzanine. Johnny Archer, 4 times world champion, trails 1-0 to Adam Lewis of England.
Yes, and there we can see it. Lewis will be breaking off, obviously, that in-off from Archer on the break. Proving critical here in the opening rack. And what an upset. We've had a few. Bustamante out. Rempe never even qualifying for the knockout stages. And then Nick Varner booking a ticket home.
Davis, steepled fingers. He might have a lot of time to practice. He's steepling.
Nicely onto the blue, too. The red 3 just above it.
Draws the ball, leaving a nice angle to the red 3. Pink same pocket.
Oh, he didn't hit that one well. He's played that into the left-hand side of the pocket as we look. He didn't intend that, Sid. He wanted to come back, get that cue ball more in the center. This is a finer clip than he would have liked, and he's got to miss that 8. And he did.
Oh, the line you can sometimes catch is fantastic, precise running of the white.
Makes the difficult ones look easy. Where a lot of players stumble, Reyes doesn't break stride.
Playing it with right English. It's run inside and... Oof, well, Kewen's not too clever, but you put your money in getting this.
Yes, this is missable. But not today, not from Reyes. He knows the importance of this match. Playing the legend, Steve Davis, Efren Reyes, 3-1 in front. What a shot here, just missing the 8. And as soon as he accomplished that task, you can see there were no more problems confronting Reyes.
And the ominous stats possibly for Davis is that a year ago he ran 8 consecutive against Suke. He then ran 9 consecutive against Bustamante. So they are expecting magic, and I reckon James Summerall expecting a miracle. I hope Steve can produce rockers from the locker.
Fifth rack. Efren
Well,
Reyes
they all know
to
they're
break,
going to be
leading
treated
by
to
3
one of the
racks to
great
1.
matches of all time. And being here, they'll be able to tell their kids and their grandkids that they saw it. One of the greatest pool players of all time against one of the greatest snooker players of all time. Locking horns. And who would have missed this? Reyes again with the break. Successfully completed. He's doing precious little wrong, Sid.
Well, they sometimes say that his break is the weakest part of his game, but that just puts into perspective how brilliant his all-round play is.
Flick this 3 into the corner pocket. Nice angle on the pink 4. He'll spin the white off the 2 cushions, bottom left. Get back into the center of the table for the orange 5 next. You know, these players do have to make a slight adjustment too with these balls. This telecast going out to a lot of places that may not be used to the television colors that we're using here. That 4-ball pink, the 7-ball brown, that's a little different to what most of these players play with normally.
Yep, the pink is normally purple. Shows better as a pink on TV. As Efren looks assert for 4-1 or
3 cushions down for the 9, bottom left.
wants to come to within about 9 inches of the cush. They're clapping already. They know a magic wand. Tinsel on the base. They're loving it here in Cardiff. The Brits may be glued to the seats, but they're appreciating the world champ.
Yes, there aren't many players in the world that can take Steve Davis back to school with a cue in their hand. But in 9-ball, the gentleman you're looking at right now is the Grand Master. And he's holding class.
The capo, the tutti capos.
The Magician, last year's champion, defending his title here. I went on record as saying I didn't think he would do that, Sid. I didn't think he'd be able to win it twice in a row.
Rack 6.
I really thought Steve would
Efren Reyes to break,
be a
leading
tough
by
hurdle
4
to get
racks
over.
1.
Well, he is a tough hurdle to get over. Make no mistake about that.
Whoever wins this one takes on Rob Souquet, former world champion, talented German. And that could be a rocky ride.
He's making a ball off the break and landing on the lowest ball remaining every time. And this is all Steve Davis has seen for about the last 20 minutes. Reyes break and clear up, break and clear up. It's been like an instant replay.
Heart of the pockets. And each one of these breaks, predictable breaks, this little needle in the heart of Davis.
And nice angle on the 3 to come down for the pink 4. Television from the Philippines here. Lots of media in attendance. That'll go back. They'll put that on tape, take it back to show their kids back home.
It was live in the Philippines a year ago at 3 a.m. when he won the title. But there's a lot of people in Manila glued to this. National hero and the Legion d'honneur. That's a Filipino version of that. National hero in the Philippines. You're seeing why. I don't think you go down too well in Romford.
Already 4-1 in front. 2 balls away from a 5-1 lead. And a comfortable one it would be. Did he rise to the occasion here?
Oh, did he rise? World champ. Mounter in here in Cardiff. Efren Reyes, Bata. 5. Steve Davis 1.
And here's Johnny Archer, still in battle on the top level. 1-0 down. He needs this 9 for a 1-all scoreline. Top left. What a shot from the Scorpion there to level it up. Vital.
He's playing Adam Lewis, English student.
Never been involved.
The year was 1972, and Minnesota Fats, who was known far and wide for his exploits with the pool cue, was having a friendly little warm-up game with author Ben Wicks.
You ever play for fun?
Never played for fun in my life. I said in my life story that playing for fun is like Rudolph Valentino having a bunch of beautiful girls chasing him down Broadway, and he runs in a hotel room and locks the door and reads Playboy magazine.
Fats was a gambler through and through, but he even had to admit he was no match for the high rollers.
Them big gamblers would just, that would be their hobby, betting on different things, unusual things. A man in Chicago by the name of Titanic Thompson, he bet that he could throw a pumpkin over the top of the Sherman House Hotel. You know, a pumpkin. See, now everybody imagined a pumpkin was like as big as your head or bigger. He had a trick pumpkin was about as big as an apple, you know, and very heavy, and he could do it.
As usual, Fats couldn't resist taking shots at his arch-rival, Willie Moscone.
No idol. My idol would be somebody that really gambled real hard, would be my idol. My real idol would be a man that would put his money up and play for big money, whether he lost or won it, just that he would put it up there, you know what I mean? Willie Moscone wouldn't play one for a grape if he owned a whole vineyard. He don't fool around pool rooms no more. I cured him. I played him 25 times, broke him every time I ever played him. And his dad, that told it right in my life story, his dad used to say to me, man, why don't you leave that kid alone?
Cardiff, Wales, World Championship cooking up in pool. And on this table, bossed
Rack
by
7,
Michaela Tabb, the
Efren
referee.
Reyes to break, leading by 5 racks to 1.
The reigning champion of the world, Efren Reyes, won the title here a year ago and shown the kind of form that could win it again. 5-1 up in a race to 9 against Steve Davis.
And still, Reyes breaking with control. And you know, so interesting, just during that short break, Sid, Steve was up out of his chair, walking around. He's been in it for 5 racks. Reyes went and sat down.
He was prowling like an outcast coyote. Because he can't do much else but prowl. He's just preying on it, suspects that this man makes a mistake. Well, he's playing. Can't see it. Featherweight red.
Didn't want that cue ball on the left cushion, though. Won't be happy about that. Green 6 next. Running through off 2 cushions. He's not missing a thing, Sid.
Absolutely.
Now it looks like his only shot is to force the white off the top cushion back into the center of the table for the brown 7 to the same pocket.
So far, he's only made 1 slip. He leads 5-1.
And this isn't straightforward. This has to be cued very sweetly to get that white back to where he wants to. Just off the top cushion here. And try and get the cue ball back into this area. Not bad.
Brown and the back and forth shot parallel with a head string. Executed beautifully. Things looking very, very ominous for SD. Poker face, but I bet his arteries are throbbing.
A little overhit here. Cue ball a little closer to that corner pocket than Efren would have liked comfortably, but this won't be any problem.
That's what the crowd think as well, Jim.
6-1, the last 6 racks in a row. From the snooker that Steve tried to get out of, he hasn't come to the table again. And he hasn't gotten out of his chair, save between breaks, just to loosen up and stretch.
I like how as well last year with ominous ease. He ran 8 consecutive against Suke. He ran 9 consecutive against Bustamante, did Reyes. Now in exactly that kind of fluent form. Winner breaks, so you can spend an awful lot of time in a chair.
All eyes on this match. Rack number 8.
Crowded house here.
Efren Reyes to break,
Full
leading
house
by
at
6
Cardiff,
racks
Jim.
to 1.
No empty seats here, Sid. A lot of people enjoying this one. What an exhibition of 9-ball Reyes is putting on. Everything working. The balls fanning out. Just look at them. The 2, the 3, the 4, they're all over pockets.
The crowd here loving seeing a hero at the art of spherical science. He is a genius.
Even when he does overhit it, he doesn't overhit it enough to get into trouble. He didn't want to be this close to the 3. Now he's got to either weave a path between those balls or try and pull away from that brown 7. Those are his only 2 choices. It almost looks like he can get that cue ball between the 9 and the orange 5. There you go.
He could thread a needle standing in a force 10 gale on top of the mast.
Now just the right angle, it looks like, to get down for the orange 5. Well, St. George's flag there. It hasn't been off the floor apart from the walk-in in the first rack, Sid.
Yes. Things looking sad. For
finally a mistake.
White. She's gone in off.
A chink in the armor. He's smiling. He's 6-1 in front. But is he human? First indication of it.
That's what he thinks about it. Oh, a very taut grin. It belied the emotion, that grin.
He couldn't find enough body English to keep that cue ball out of the pocket. And this is where Steve now, he can mop up here, bring it back to 6-2, but is he capable of stringing 6 racks together?
Put you on the spot, Jim. Is he capable?
He's got a better chance of picking the numbers for the lottery. 9 down, 6-2 confirmed. And Steve will be breaking off in the 9th rack here.
Yeah, flag of St. George on the deck, but at least St. George only had to fight a dragon. He's fighting Tyrannosaurus Rex.
He's chalking up, looking at his tip, and Archer we can see on top, 2-1 in front.
Adam Lewis, young English student at Anglia University. Might learn a few lessons up there, Jim.
Well, he's playing, without a doubt, one of the best tournament players, one of the best players on the planet, Johnny Archer.
Steve Davis to
And
break,
Reyes
trailing
down
by
below
2
here.
racks to 6.
The top 2 players in this event.
England expects, in the shape of Lewis and Davis here, but we do expect a lot from our sportsmen. Sometimes it just don't happen. They're flying around. Nothing drops through it.
So frustrating seeing your opponent knock in 6 consecutive racks and you just can't muster up a successful break, and you wonder what's the difference, what's the key? About 30 years of playing 9-ball. Steve's got 30 playing snooker.
How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice.
Reyes keeping the clamps on Davis. He doesn't want to let the lion out of the cage. Top cushion, the only escape here, Sid, a right-hand cushion as we look. But again, the contact on the 1 is one thing. Getting it safe, that's another. Steve won't miss this 1. He'll hit it. Just needs a little bit of running here.
Top cushion. Is this safe? Is anything safe for this man?
Difficult to see him attacking from here. I think this is nothing more than a containing shot. If he can make a good aggressive safety from this position, he'll have played one of his best shots. And the obvious choice is to try and get that 1 down to the top cushion, back right hand side as we look. Or he can run with the white, Sid.
His right hand side. And bit of a mess. Davis could step in.
Yes, I think that was a little thicker than Efren wanted. He's talking to himself there. He's left Steve a shot at the 1, but I think he wanted a thinner contact. He was running with the cue ball behind that little wall of balls. Didn't intend bringing the 1 down so far. But you can see, even though the 1 is on, the cue ball is going away from the blue to the next ball on.
Here we go. The comeback trail start here with a 1 ball.
And Steve now will be looking to get that 1 ball in behind the brown 7, and he can take the cue ball over and try and cannon into the pink 4. That'll hold the cue ball in behind the brown 7 and get that ball up the bottom end of the table as we look. That's the shot, Sid. Get that white behind the brown 7.
It's behind, and he's weighted the blue 2 beautifully.
Well, he'd like to have played it a little harder. Just a quick shake of the head, I detect. Steve knows that he should have had Reyes in a lot more trouble than he does. I'm not sure he can't even get through to this 2. I think he can.
From the top viewpoint, you're right. Could have done with another foot on the treble. Bobbled.
Well, Steve has to feel like he's a little unlucky not to have carved an opening from Reyes' miss here, but he's looking at the side cushion, the 2 into the 9.
6-2, the world champ leads
I think if he plays this, Sid, he's got to go side cushion, bottom cushion. You see the angle he's holding his cue to come in? He's going to go into the side cushion with a little right hand spin as he looks and try and contact that blue 2 off 2 cushions. All or nothing.
Well, he needs, I was going to say desperate measures. With him, he needs precise, effective measures. Just watch what happens to the blue and then the 9.
No, he hit it off 1 cushion. Well, he's fluked the 3. But he intended hitting that blue 2 off 2 cushions.
Tension echoing in every square foot of this hall. 6-2 and race to 9 in favor of Efren Reyes, the world champion. Davis, with his winner break rule, could string 3 or 4 or more together.
Can just get through to this blue 2. Oh, what a shot. Look at the cue ball. Steve willing it in behind the 7. I don't know if it got there.
The 9 is very near the bottom pocket.
Into the center, Sid. He's playing this a fine clip into the middle. Didn't cut it enough.
Come on, Steve.
A chance then.
Well, Steve can take this into the top left corner, but he's got to get the cue ball back up the top end of the table for the pink 4 next. Oh, it went into the center pocket, even better.
And his ace landed on pink. Sorry, bad English. Landed ace on the pink. I don't get a bit excited, but who wouldn't with this kind of match? But you're excited to do them, hope you are, wherever you are. Manila, Romford. Points north, south and west of Cardiff. Davis trying to start a rolling recovery.
This has been the scrappiest rack we've seen.
Scrap's the word. Davis is starting to scrap. Action on the table reflected in the pupils of her eyes.
Steve just making sure, taking time. He's got the right angle on the 6 here. I think what he's concerned, oh, there's Rob McKenna in the crowd. The local hero. He went out in this round, but he had a good event. Played some great stuff here.
Green 6, heart of the pocket.
See, this isn't straightforward, Sid, because I don't know if that 8 passes to the top left corner as we look. Easy to get onto if it does. If it doesn't, not so easy. And the way that Steve's played that, he's trying to get right in behind it and get it to the top left corner. Now he may have to try and bank the 8. Now he's got a choice here. He could try and bank this in the bottom right corner, or he could try and bank it into the opposite center pocket and take the cue ball down towards the 9, almost like a two-way shot.
Interesting combined option then.
I'm not sure he fancies either one of them. I don't think if he tries to double this into the middle or bank it into the opposite middle. I don't think it's on. I don't think the 9 is on. He has to put all his eggs in one basket and go one way or the other here.
Unlucky. Hit the knuckle.
Great effort. I mean, so difficult for a snooker player to come to a 9-footer and try and negotiate how these balls are going to come off the cushions. That was a great effort. Very, very close to going in. And this isn't easy for Reyes. So he made it look easy.
That's our boy. He's known as Recovery Jim. Yep.
Well, that was one that got away from SD there, Sid. And they're applauding Reyes, but Davis had a chance, let it slip, and Reyes now 7-2 up on the nugget. Back at the World 9-Ball Championships here in Cardiff. Day 5 action. And there you can see some of the results and the ongoing matches. 7-2, we know that one. Johnny Archer, 4-1 in front of Adam Lewis right now. Another match just getting ready to start. Jeremy Jones. And here we see Archer. After losing the first rack, Sid, he's now 4-1 in front.
Yes, the English student could have a battle on his hands up there, and it's a 4-time world champion, Jim.
Well, a chance here for Adam Lewis to pull one back. Back to the main table. Concentration of our focus here. Efren Reyes against Steve Davis. 7-2, the current lead. Reyes wanting 2 more for a place in the last 32 here, and to book a date with German Ralph Souquet. But what a storyline this man's break has been. Every time he's been at the table breaking off, he doesn't just get a ball on the break, he lands nicely on the next lowest one available. But that's a terrific control of the white there, Sid. Textbook.
Yeah. Yeah, 1, 2, maybe 3 breaks. You think, look, maybe with 7. Now look, just the work of a maestro, a magician with his wand, a world champion in action. Back and forth shot across the table.
And I think if he can just get through to the 4 here, only just, I believe he's all right. And look at that gentleman. His mom's jewelry box exploded.
His twin brother stood outside the corner. Efren Reyes, the holder of this title. Stroking. It's a very funny stroke. He sizes up the ball. He can't quite work out where he's going to hit it. But suddenly the final stroke, spot on, parallel with the floor. Unless always a full stroke.
Well, 2 choices here, Sid. Either straight through with a lot of left hand running side, or back, and he's choosing back.
Like a kid with a Christmas yo-yo. It's got the white on a piece of stretchy string.
Doesn't mind being close to the cushion here. Just got to bump this 9 in. And Reyes on the threshold of victory over Steve Davis. He's 8-2 in front. Just 1 more rack to secure that berth in the last 32. Some performance from the magician here tonight.
And other players will be taking a close interest in how the balls are breaking, how he's getting this very productive break, but also his calm control would send out vibes of terror.
A very complacent stare, but in his mind, already preparing for the last break-off from Reyes.
Efren Reyes to break, leading by 8 racks
The
to
only
2.
way that he's going to lose this one is for Steve to string a few together.
This is the break that could set up the victory.
And for the first time, Reyes doesn't land on the 1 or the 2. And he's smiling. Almost expects
a smile.
a successful break, doesn't he? And now looking at to possibly push the cue ball out. Choice of areas.
Push.
And a nice little shot there. He doesn't leave anything attacking. And what's more, he doesn't snooker Steve either. But at least Steve gets out of his chair one more time.
The eyes of a predator. You imagine him sitting on a balcony saying Clint who? Davis prowls. Prowls is about all he's been allowed to do so far. Trades 8-2. Efren Reyes needs one more rack to do the job.
Steve needs that one to either stop or go harder.
It's in. Crowd here in Cardiff giving Steve Davis every form of encouragement. Oh, beautifully along the rail. Hugged it like a baby with a favorite teddy. Feathered up, intermediate, right on the doorstep. Good position.
Nice angle on the 4, Sid. Get back over the center of the table. The orange 5 will be next. Steve's got to complete a 4-ball clearance here to stave off elimination in this one.
He draws the ball across nicely for the orange. With a nice angle to get position on the green 6. Nails are being gnawed. They want Davis to start a comeback.
They don't want to go home yet, Sid. They want this to go on. This is terrific stuff. And the night is early.
This then to pull back to 8-3.
Confirmation 8-3. Steve still in with a shout. He'll be breaking in rack number 12 in Cardiff here. You've got to admire him. He is a battler. Reyes threw that 6-pack at him, knocking in the 6 racks to erase a 1-0 deficit and turn it into a 6-1 advantage. Since then, they've been volleying shots, Sid. But can Steve put a few together himself and just try and apply a little pressure to the legendary Reyes?
Knows the importance, that sort of
Steve Davis to break, trailing
slight
by 3
pet
racks
lip.
to 8.
The furrowed brow. He has to get his break going now. Has to get 1 or 2 down and a shot on the low ball. could be disaster.
Very likely. And I think Steve almost had a look of resignation. You can see he's given it everything in the break. He just doesn't have the answer. You've got to fear the worst now for Steve. This man finishes like no human being before him. Well, you could have played that shot better. Intended a little fuller cannon into the 3, and he's shaking his head a little bit. He's not happy with that result. And Corey Duell right there. He just won a nice match over Vegard Christensen. 9-6. He's through to the last 32. Young, talented American.
Pink 4 draws the ball over. Got the orange 5. Up, almost off the ball with side and bottom, and a mistake at a vital time.
The slip came totally unexpected, but Reyes is going to have to duel a little longer.
Duel or die. Davis weighing it up.
Steve's probably wondering, well, Efren, what were you going to do here if you made the 5? You had the angle on the 6. That's what Steve's concerning himself with right now. He just wants that proper angle on the 6 to take the cue ball up for the brown 7. And with the 5 right over the corner pocket, Sid, never easy to play position from these type of shots.
You could hear a flake of dandruff fall in this hole. The tension, massive. Can Davis get on a roll? 8-3 down. Reyes wants one more rack for the match.
Cue ball's coming right down. He's just got to clear the 8 here. That looks perfect as long as it didn't run on too far.
Reyes cocks his head over, checking every stroke.
Converts it into a victory. The mistake from Reyes, capitalized on by Steve Davis. Back to 8-4 and still alive.
And here's that mistake in putting so much on the white. He stuck the orange in the jaws, and another tussle going on. Archer, 4 times world champions, playing Adam Lewis of England, and the score is 5-2 to Archer.
You can see a chance for Lewis. Heavily favored Archer in that one. Make no mistake.
Rack 13, Steve Davis to break,
But
trailing
we
by
have
4
had
racks
some
to
upsets
8.
in this tournament this year, Sid.
Have we ever?
Could we be witness to one of the biggest?
Jimmy White a year ago lost to Reyes 9-8. He's got a shot on the 1.
Finally, the mystery has been solved.
Efren Reyes is watching every move Davis makes and is now scratching is Tash. Is that a sign of nerves?
Straight back for the pink 4. Everything looks available here, Sid. No problems.
Out of the pocket. How do you like how he's on the orange chip?
He's just looked away from it. Just got to get the cue ball back up. Green 6 available. Just missed the 9. Softly checked it. This is a great performance from Steve. Really showing the fighting qualities he possesses here.
Well, I thought he was going to enjoy himself here, and if you called purgatory enjoying yourself, then he's enjoying himself. Two cushions after the contact, just to give a slight little angle. There should be no bother at all. The comeback trail has started. 8-5.
The pride of a champion, keeping Davis in this. And the crowd loving it. 8-5. He's won the last 3 on the spin. He'll be breaking in rack number 14. Hoping to continue on.
Spent immense efforts in coming into this game 4.5, 5 years ago. That's especially made KO. And Jamie, you impressed by the sort of ferrule he's using now around the tip?
Well, it's not a brass ferrule. He's had John Paris put that cue together for him. Somewhat between a snooker cue and an American pool cue, about 11.5 mil, I would guess, millimeters. Needs a ball here off the break. Can't afford any mistakes, and he can't afford to leave Reyes a shot. And I'm not sure that he hasn't this one possibly available, but again, Steve really throwing that cue out. We've noticed that from a lot of the players, getting that cue through the white. He's trying to duplicate that, hoping for success. Now, if this one isn't available, Reyes can really put the handcuffs on Steve here. But it looks like it'll pass bottom left as we look. It does.
World champion striking the first shot in what could be a tumbril roll for Davis.
Yeah, that was a great opening shot right there. You just get the feeling, Sid, that that one little hiccup from Reyes is going to make him bear down even more now. This isn't easy. He's got to get that cue ball back up for the pink 4, top of the table. Now, how does he avoid contact with the 9 here?
Just checking the exact track he wants the white to take.
I'll ask her if it's tense out there. Concentrating so much on getting away from the 9 and using it for position. Look at this. Has Steve Davis found a way to extract a few mistakes from Reyes?
Well, he's made more mistakes in the last 5 minutes than he made in the previous hour or so.
Well, he's definitely shown us at least that he's got a pulse, Sid. Well, Steve Smith hit that. He'll be happy to land on the 4. But he really didn't want to go anywhere near that corner pocket. He needed a lot more angle. Now he's going to have to hit this with a little pace. He's just looking the area that he can leave this white. Now you can see the path here. He can get the cue ball into this area quite easily, and that'll leave a path through to the 5. He's just got to clear this 6. If he does elect to hit this and do something special, well, then he's risking the pot. Trying to spin that off the 2 cushions with a lot of left-hand side. The position a little riskier.
Could be the vital shot.
Yeah, he's just done exactly what I thought. Just clear the 6, leave himself the open pot on the 5.
He trails 8-5. It's a race to 9.
Just wants to go up and down the table here, Sid. Ideally, he's got to miss that 8. That's the only problem. Pot the 5, miss the 8.
Oh! Very pleased. Look at him. He's like a magician.
He knew he overhit it. He knew he overhit it as soon as he hit it. He can still get this, but it was anxious moments for him. Now watch his reaction here.
Like a magician, having sewn the lady in half for real. He jumped in the air, hoping, successfully hoping. Oh, position, opposition. And look at the draw, look at the way he's maneuvered the whites. Brilliant.
He doesn't want to go home early yet. Steve has booked his time here for the entire evening. 8-6 now. Davis back in with a chance. Who would have believed this at 8-2?
Jimmy White got to within 1. 9-8 a year ago. Johnny Archer is watching the match. Now there's the confidence. He's leading 6-2 against England's Adam Lewis up there. But still looking at this drama unfolding on our feature table.
I mean, I wonder how many times Johnny Archer's played a match and nobody watching.
Rack 15, Steve Davis to break, trailing by 6.
Yes, he doesn't want the vote as best supporting actor.
Steve desperately looking for one off the break here. Oh, he lost the white.
Just Mr. Pink.
Not left Reyes anything easy, though. Look at that. Determination. And right.
Like a bloke seeing a million slugs attacking his lettuce.
Help!
Safety shots. Davis appreciates. The double tap means good shot, mate.
They're seeing one of the all-time great matches. As we said earlier, Sid, this is one you're going to be able to tell all the descendants about. 2 of the greats.
Tonight, Efren Reyes, Bata, the younger, took on Rumpert Slim in Cardiff. Tension, sporting excellence, mental, cue-based chess. Davis getting out of the snooker. Across the table, looking for the yellow.
He's not left it. And look at Steve. He's living on every shot. You ever see that from him playing snooker? Never in your life.
As I've said in one or two interviews about it, he has a lust for the game. He loves playing 9-ball. And this scoreline reflecting what Davis has picked up about the game. He's gone out to learn and learn and learn. It's 8-6 in favour of the reigning champion Reyes. Davis takes it cool.
Risky shot here for Reyes if he elects to go for it. And I think he has. Oh!
Bobbled in the jaws.
Held the cue ball behind the 2, but he wanted that one. I think he thought he had it.
Banks in to the cush. But just look how near it was. Near's no good, Efren.
Now, Steve, if he can get this off the side cushion, he just wants to contact the cushion just before the 1. That'll bring the cue ball nicely out for the blue 2. If he gets this, Sid, and gets on the 2, you're staring 8-7 right in the face.
And he's showing the strain. Showing the worry.
He's wondering why he isn't out there playing chess right now, Reyes. And meanwhile, everybody here glued to the table. He could have been halfway through his next chess game if he'd have got out of this 8-2.
The floor of the bleachers, knee deep in fingernail. Got it! Brilliant shots! Crowd cheering on this Davis comeback.
This is fitting. This is just so fitting for Steve.
A year ago, Jimmy White nearly beat Reyes. Final score was 9-8. Top spins the ball around. Flick the under the red and pot the pink, Jim.
It looks like the 3 is available top left. I'm not sure of the combination to the pink, but look at this. They're watching from the rafters here, this one. And what a setting. What a moment. Frozen in time.
You said it. Classic. The reigning champion looked to be rolling away from Davis. And Davis got his act rolling.
Oh, he thought he missed it. He thought he had missed it. And now no reason as we see one more look at it. Wow. His heart was in his mouth there.
Draws the white. Well,
can't stand to watch.
Green 6 now, bottom left. Lady there churning with emotion. Come on, Steve.
This doesn't just bring out the emotion in the players. The fans live on every shot, too.
Well, the old St. George's flag was lying on the floor like a used serviette. Kids pulling themselves jowls with tension. St. George's flag might be waving soon. Crowd loving every second of this match. Davis looking a good bet to pull to 8-7. Incredible game.
As it promised, it's It's one for the ages. There's St. George's flag. It's off the ground now. 8-7. Steve Davis back on track.
Well, this lot could start singing Land of Hope and Glory there, game on. 8-7. The world champion looked to have Steve locked up in that chair.
And look at his face. Back up on the top shelf. Four-time world champion on the right. Johnny Archer, 8-2. In front of the unheralded Adam Lewis. It was a tall one for Adam Lewis, to be sure. But Archer looking good value here to go through to the last 32, Sid.
Meanwhile, and what a picture. He's loving it. We said Davis was loving this. He's seen his lead clawed back. He's loving it too, Jim.
How can you not enjoy this one? Reyes was 8-2 in front. He's lost the last 5 racks in a row.
Yeah, it was me cracking up. Reyes doing 8 and 9. String together racks. If Davis could do 2 productive breaks, we'd have a sensational upset. Sensational.
Rack 16, Steve Davis to break, trailing by 7 racks to 8.
Two down.
What's his shape on the 1?
Not bad. He's got a shot at it. Who would have believed we'd be at this stage in this match when it was 8-2 and Reyes looked like running out to win the match 9-2? She didn't. Neither did he.
Jim White's that well-known sex change surgeon. Here we go then. It's tense as you'd want. It's a brilliant game. The world champ could be on the ropes very soon. You rarely see a sports crowd with as many dry mouths. Still with dry mouths, they'll yell if Davis keeps this up. And how? Good position on the red.
I think he's showing a few pool players some shots here tonight, Steve Davis. He's been taking it in for about 6 years of the Moscone Cup. This is the 2nd year here in Cardiff for the World 9-Ball Championships. So many tournaments that Steve has entered. And he says he plays the game because he enjoys it. Can't really take it serious. Go tell him that now.
Yeah. Dangerous Davis, Spoofer Davis. Couldn't want a better bit of sport on your box. Hope you're liking this in Canada and in, I was going to say the Philippines, but maybe the folks in the Philippines just don't believe this.
Just seeing where he wants to take the cue ball. The red 3 on. Problem is he's going to have a little too much angle on the pink 4 to be able to hold the cue ball ideally onto the orange 5 below it. And that's what's concerning him. And obviously he's wary of that left center pocket as he looks, the one he's just cueing near now, the right on our camera picture.
Here he goes then. The position vital as the red goes down. Good shape, Jim.
Well, it looks now, Sid, like his only choice is to try and cannon into the 5. And try and hold position onto that orange 5. And this is risky. He's leaving a little to chance here in doing this.
And if he makes a slight slip, Reyes is in like Panther, because this rack would do him. So Davis under as much pressure as you could imagine here.
Well, Steve passed it up. The billiard onto the 9, waiting for a better chance. That 4 was on, but the risks didn't outweigh the rewards. So Davis bidding for another chance.
And now it's the champion's turn to be under pressure. Snookered. So unless he gets this to within an area the size of a pound coin of where he intends, this is a big chance now.
That's the chance that Steve was waiting for. Look at Reyes. He might have made one mistake, maybe 2, but rest assured, Steve has done this on his own. He is beating Reyes at his own game. He's outthinking him, he's outmaneuvering him, and right now he's outpotting him.
Thing goes. How's he on the Oh.
I don't think he can get through to the 5, and he can't believe it.
Efren was up.
He's looking at Reyes. Reyes was out of his chair to see if he could see the 5.
And
Steve says, how does it look?
Well, it's great to see too. World stars of sport playing this in the spirit. Brennan Chomp there could be going out. Davis studying the lie.
I don't think he can get through to the 5, Sid. Enough, he can hit it, but I don't know whether he can pot it. And he can't. He's trying to get the cue ball behind the 9.
Vicious, absolutely vicious snooker.
Well, this is going to take everything that Reyes has under that helmet to be able to hit this one. The obvious escape, the 2 cushions, bottom, left. But that almost is guaranteed to leave the 5 on if he hits it. Can he get enough of the side cushion? Obviously.
They say he's the greatest kicker out of snookers to pot in the world. They say right. What a shot!
How do you reply to that? Sheer brilliance. And now he's taking no prisoners.
Bad. Whack is here with his cue, then his hand.
Well, he wanted to snooker Steve. He thought that he had a very natural safety to bring the 6 to the top of the table and lay that cue ball behind the brown 7. Even though Steve can get through to this, like this is just how good Ray is. I'd be happy with that shot. I'd feel like I got my opponent safe.
What a match.
I want to see Steve in the familiar pose of just scratching behind his ear. How often have we seen that? Because this is one of those shots where he's going to have to think his way out.
He's having too much fun to scratch. One more rack and Reyes has it. Davis trying to level up. Let's go and take his 2. And one rack that would be one tremendous decider.
He's not ready to pull the trigger yet, Sid. I saw him get down there. He was just looking at it from another perspective. And if I had any idea what he was going to do, I'd probably telestrate something.
I've got one very honest Canadian in this box for me. champion sits hunched like a medicine man whose spell hasn't worked.
There is a shot that a lot of them play when it's near the cushion where they spin the white and try and kick it in off the cushion along that top to the top right corner, but Steve obviously isn't trying that. He's banked it! Brilliant shots! What a shot! Under massive stress, duress! A brilliant bank! Reyes just did a brilliant shot on the orange two-cushion bank. Now Davis replies. What a game! Steve just rolled a 7 with 1 die. What a shot! What a match. It looks like going to the hill, 8 apiece. World champion Efren Reyes. Some say the greatest, well, one of the greatest ever to hold a cue. What a great pool player, Steve Davis. Chin slithering on the cue. Bobbled, but dropped. It's going to the hill definitely now. You can't see Davis missing these two. This then for 8 apiece, and the greatest comeback since Lazarus. History in the making here in Cardiff. 2 legends at the table playing 1 rack to decide who lives and who dies. Is coming from Cardiff, the International Arena, where we have a great, a fantastic and unspeakably good pool match coming to a climax. Watch this bank from Reyes. Out of the snooker, pots the 5, and Davis, if he was going to go down, he was going to go down swinging. These 2 boys, toe-to-toe, Sid, we're a long ways from Manila. Not quite so far from London. 1 goes on, 1 goes home. 8-8. Davis to break. Davis has come back from 8-2. So Reyes has wanted 1 rack for all that time. Unbelievable game. If Davis can win this rack, the world champion is out. And Davis goes through. Productive break. Is it ever? What's his shot like? On the blue too. Got a shot on the 2. Back from the grave. The nugget. 2 balls down. And he's got a long 2. And have a look at this pot. And I can tell you where the 3 is. If he can roll this in, he's almost guaranteed to finish on the 3. You could touch the tension. These people will go absolutely ballistic. Bachi! If Davis can win this rack, to come back from 8-2 against, some people say the greatest pool player ever. Some people think Reyes is one of the half-dozen greatest ever. The holder is just sitting there, hunched, and that says it all. I am Efren Reyes. I'm the world champion, the maestro, the magician. I was 8-2 up. Look at the scoreline now, 8 each. Last rack of the match. Davis. Any problem ball, Jim? I don't know that there is. Steve's 9 ball is on a different planet right now. The shots he's playing, the way he's weaving that cue ball around the table, this is without a doubt The best performance from him that I've ever seen. And I've almost been commentating on every match he's played 9-ball.
Same here. For a while in learning the game, his break, he tried to do the American style break, but then he adapted it to a sort of stiff-armed stab. And stiff-armed stab is what he's given Reyes here. Incredible match. Played with incredible tension.
That kicked, Sid. He got a kick on that 4. He knows it. He wants the white cleaned. And Michaela Tab, for one of the very few times here, called on to clean the cue ball. But that skidded very noticeably. Now Steve's got to force this. This has to be hit with some pace, and you know what that means. We've seen a lot of these balls refused unless they're right in the heart of the pocket.
No time to bobble in the jaws. Left-hand side. Into the pocket. Is he ever good on the brown 7? He's not hesitating now. He knows.
Sid, he's a winner.
Destiny it is.
He's a winner.
He's a winner.
From 8-2 down.
Unbelievable.
He's just snatched a monumental victory right out of the jaws of defeat.
Sorry, all your people in Manila. Efren Reyes, world champion, is now out. Davis has done a number on the world champion. At last, St. George's flag is raised. Davis back from 8-2 to put out the champ. Magnificent playing of 9-ball pool. People absolutely rapturous here in Cardiff, Jim.
And Steve with the performance of his life on a 9-ball table. Congratulations all around. A truly remarkable performance by both of these legends.
Reyes takes it in good part. Some people would storm out. He stands there, signs the autographs, because he is a gentleman of pool. But he's got plenty of time to play chess now. Davis, brilliant.
Steve, that really was, I mean, how do you do it? I mean, 8-2 down, we thought you were gone.
Well, I mean, Efren's break. Some people, I remember saying, when I first heard about Efren Reyes, said, you know, he's got a terrible break. Well, if that's a terrible break, he broke better than anybody I've seen. So I just sat in my chair after the second rack, which I felt a bit unlucky when I went in off. I didn't get a chance.
No.
And my break isn't strong enough to run racks like Efren
And
does.
you had a long spell sitting down watching.
So I had a long wait. In one of the intervals, I just walked around to try and keep moving, because Efren can put you to sleep. So, but then he missed a couple of shots.
Yes.
That
you just thought maybe it was getting to him.
Well, I don't think that. I think it was just plain sailing. Even the greatest players in the world can't always keep their foot on the gas all the time.
Yeah.
Just mentally, a couple of shots just went fractionally astray, so I thought, well, just hang in there.
Yeah, but Steve, at 8-2 down, you really couldn't afford to make many errors because you knew he would be in and finish it off.
I couldn't, but I had nothing to lose, which is a lovely position to be in. But of course, as the frames start to eat away, that's when the problems start happening for me. But I kept my position very sound. I'd made sure, and I've known from experience, not to gamble on any shot. I made sure that at least I saw the ball I was going to be on next. And I played a couple of safety shots when I could have risked another pot.
Yes.
And it all went wrong for Efren, and perhaps he got punished for just easing his foot off the gas a bit. I don't believe I've beaten him. He's such a great player. Part of me thinks it's such a shame he's also out of the tournament, because the skill he can produce on a table, he ran so many racks, one after the other, just monotonous, really.
And, I mean, everyone knows you're super cool, but I suspect even you, the tension was getting to you.
Well,
I mean, you were smiling, but inside.
It was, but I loved every minute. It was so exciting. I really did. And, you know, I'm a small fish in a big pond here. So the challenge is great. So I'm the underdog in the eyes of the pool world.
But you're on a steep learning curve and you're doing it well. I mean, you're doing enough to get through to the last 32.
I didn't make any basic errors. I probably went about a couple of positional shots slightly different to some of the top pool players, but I kept the ball in play and I didn't scratch from then on in off the break.
And next up, it's Ralph Souquet. That's who you're going to meet in that last 32. The Kaiser.
Well, he's another great player, and Ralph's as solid as a rock as well. And one player who doesn't take his foot off your neck.
Yeah.
His foot off your neck is Ralph. He keeps the pressure on all the time.
Yeah.
So, but from now on, I mean, I'm floating, because this isn't my game, but I love the game and I want to be part of the tournament, so I'm still in.
Steve, well done. I'm sure you're going to go off and relax with a glass of something, aren't you?
Might do.
Lemonade, maybe. Steve, well done. Thanks for joining us. We look forward to seeing you in that last 32. Just to remind you that, in fact, Archer is currently 8-4 up and just about, we think, to go through to that last 32 to join Steve here. It's been a terrific day, a terrific night as well, thanks to this man. We've had a wonderful time. Hope you've enjoyed it. We are, of course, back tomorrow afternoon once again at the normal time. There it is, live and exclusive on Sky Sports. Don't miss it. We're back at 2 o'clock. It's the last 32. Great stuff coming your way. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.